Hey everyone, it's Steve.
And Tiffany.
Tiffany is recovering from knee surgery, carpal tunnel surgery.
Cubital.
I always want to say orbital, but cubital surgery. So she's not been a lot of help around the farm lately. So we thought we'd bring you along. A lot of y'all want to know, you asking all the time, what varieties we grow, why we grow them, what do we do with them, why are they different, where do we get our seeds from? And the short answer of that is we grow a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of different varieties. And we buy seeds from a lot of different places. Now, the majority of our seeds are certified organic. That is part of the requirement with our organic certification. But some seeds are not available organic. And maybe they're available organic this year, and next year they can't be bought organic. So in those instances, we are able to get pre-approval before we purchase non-organic certified seeds, but they have to be not treated, and they have to be considered organic safe.
They have to be like an NOP compliant.
Right.
So it's not just
it ain't just I can't go down to Walmart and grab a pack of seeds because it says that it's seeds. They have to meet the standards. So that being said, we buy seeds from High Mowing, Adaptive, occasionally Sow True Seeds, not much, but once in a blue moon they have something we just can't get nowhere.
Right.
And so we use them for that. I'm sorry I'm shaking the table, guys. That was probably a little jittery. Osborne. Not a lot off Osborne, but they do have a few things available from year to year, and usually in organic.
Yep. And some of the things that they have are cheaper from Osborne than they are from our other normal suppliers.
Right. And it depends upon the quantity you buy. All this stuff changes. You know. But if you're buying, it don't make no sense to buy your seeds from 5 places if you're buying 6 packs of seeds. But if you're buying hundreds of packs of seeds, sometimes you got to shop around.
Yeah. Baker Creek is another one we usually buy because we actually have Baker Creek already pre-approved with our organic certification. It's actually on our statement that we do buy seeds from them because there's a lot of old heirloom varieties you are not ever going to be able to get in an organic seed, and they know that that Baker Creek
never does GMO.
Right.
Now, if you remember, last year Baker Creek had a little bit of an uproar over a tomato seed. But if you notice, that tomato seed never got sold.
Yep.
It got printed in the catalog.
So we have that catalog, and I'll never get rid of it because it's just kind of cool.
It got advertised, promoted, and then when it went through and it had actually been tested.
Correct. Yeah.
And the lab didn't find any genetic modifications in it. So whether it was GMO, we can't say. But Baker Creek, out of 100% precaution, since the company that swore it was their proprietary GMO, Baker Creek pulled that seed. And props to them.
Yeah. They
could have said, nope, it passed genetic testing and it's not GMO. But they pulled it. So that's all I need to know.
Yep. So
they're an allowed source for us if we can't find the seeds organic. Now, sometimes we can find the seeds organic, but we're a small farm. So while
Southern Exposure is a good one.
Southern Exposure is another good one.
They have a lot of old heirloom seeds that you can't find nowhere else, and a lot of organic.
But we're a small farm, and when I was working in my backyard before we moved to this farm, I might only want 8 Cherokee purple tomato plants. So 1 packet of seeds, a little bitty packet, likely would do me for 2 to 3 years on Cherokee purples. Now, we need hundreds, if not maybe even 1,000 Cherokee purple in 1 year. That being said, I don't need 25,000 seeds. And sometimes we run into that. Like we'll go to order a corn seed that we want, and all the small quantities are gone, but we can buy 25,000 kernels. No. Or we can buy 100,000 kernels. No. Not for us. We don't grow that much corn ever in a year. That'd take up more than our property.
So, our big seed supplier is this one.
And they probably supply overall 80% of our seeds,
Probably.
60 to 80% for sure. So, it's Johnnyseeds, guys. Quality seeds. I can say that we almost never have a problem with their seeds. We've had a couple of problems that they quickly took care of. But virtually no problem. Using a nice little knife to open this. It's nothing special. Something my dad had. I don't even know the brand. It's a Parker. Made of surgical steel. It's got some nice little engraving on it. It's a nice little knife. And I've got two of these. One's much larger. I wouldn't quite call it a pocket knife. It rides your blue jeans off of you. It's a big knife. So Johnny's always sends you a packing list. It's got all your pricing. It's got everything in it. And this is a pretty big order for us because we went ahead and got our corn, and then we've got our greenhouse tomatoes. Well, let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. So we're going to Tiffany the checklist.
We keep these because these are not just only the checklist, but I like to keep these along with my other receipts because I have to show my organic certifier this spring what I bought, where it's going, and then what I sold.
So we're going to go through these one by one, but I'll show you what we're pulling out of here. And sometimes Johnny's does this. Sends you like production information on greenhouse cucumbers. This is available on their website, but it's nice to have a copy when you get your stuff in. So, nothing left in the box. Well, nothing but packing paper. So here is one of our favorites, I would have to say, that we really missed last year because seeds wasn't available.
Ah. Yeah.
We love the way this grows. We love the way it tastes. It cans well. Alyssa likes to eat it too. Alyssa's off camera over here. If we get lucky, she'll lean in and say hi. That's our middle daughter. She's acting like she might give us a hi. Look, 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 look. There she is.
It's my twin.
So,
A little bit younger.
yeah. It's her younger, a lot younger twin. So, here's our bag of Helda. Helda is definitely the bean we'll buy the most of during the year. So anyway, these are Helda. By far the bean we buy the most of.
Yes.
We have bought larger quantities of the Trilogy before, but we have found the Trilogy doesn't sell as well for the Helda. We love the bean, but at market, it's not as good of a performer as the Helda is for us. Matter of fact, if we got Helda on the table, it's kind of hard to sell the Trilogy mix in our local markets.
It is a perfect Italian flat bean. Nobody else grows them around here.
And I prefer the Italian flat beans. That's my preference of a bean to eat. My mom and everybody, probably my family, probably smacked me around for not being a white half runner.
Or Kentucky one whole
Oh,
bean.
they were white half runners. I mean, I grew up, half runner was the bean everybody wanted, but I like these. So it's a flat Italian bean. So Tiffany, we have got a pack of 1,000 seeds. Is that what we ordered? So gonna have some beans this year. We'll do a succession planting on these. We'll plant one batch of 500-ish seeds, and then we'll come along around 3 weeks later and plant another batch because these only produce for about 3 to 6 weeks. So at about the 4-week mark, they will start to taper off. Or even a 3-week mark sometimes, and then they'll get a reboost, and they'll push in that 5th and 6th week. But then after that, don't waste your time. It's not worth the effort to go and try to pick the beans out of them. They flush heavy and then slow down. So just keep that in mind if you're going to grow them. Great bean. Okay, we fell in love with this last year. It was a new variety for us. We loved the variety we had been growing, but we decided to try this last year. We loved it. Now, we also grew its sister, and we'll talk about that in a second. Its sister I absolutely love, and our customers did too. But in all reality, this year we needed to focus on one, not two, because we're growing some specialty corn also. We're growing a popcorn, and we're growing our Bloody Butcher that we grow almost every year. And we'll grow more Bloody Butcher than we do of this. And that being said, it's because our Bloody Butcher is our go-to corn for grinding for cornmeal, for cornbread, and we sell some cornbread mix locally at markets and do some shipping on the cornbread mix too. So if you need it and you want something, it's made of organic corn, but it's not certified organic mix because we don't have that product certified under our organic label. It may happen one day, but just ain't been worth it yet.
Currently, it costs twice the price of our organic certification that we currently have. It costs twice that almost to get a processing label.
So and we're just not ready for it. One day, probably going to happen.
Yes.
But that may be 3 or 4 years down the road. We're working. Maybe next year. Yep. Just depends on what we grow, how we grow size-wise this year. But anyway, this is. Oh, and I didn't mention that to you. The Helda, if you can see that, is certified organic. Another reason we love the Helda is it's available in organic. Yep. There's a couple other options that are very similar to the Helda, but they're not organic available. And sometimes that isn't a big deal, but a lot of these organic ones have got disease resistance bred into them so that they don't have to be sprayed. And it's not that we can't spray certain things under our organic certification, because some things are allowed. Never caustic chemical sprays. That's not allowed. But
we would rather not spray anything, and normally
spray almost nothing. We spray almost nothing.
Yeah.
Almost nothing. I spray my apple trees and peach trees because I want a crop, and the bug and disease pressure is so high you'll get nothing if you don't take care of it. So we do spray those.
And last year we sprayed. The only thing we sprayed last year was the surround on the fruit trees.
Yep.
We sprayed, and then our aphid spray in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
That was it. Nothing else.
Corn will get sprayed if we have a bad pressure year.
Right.
Because I would rather have corn than have no corn. And if the worms are bad, you gotta spray it. It's just it happens. Sometimes you gotta spray it. And corn, this natural sweet corn is another one that we'll probably do a succession planting. We'll probably plant one, wait 3 weeks, and plant it again, maybe 4 weeks. That way we got a early crop and a mid-season to late season crop. The early crop, customers buy it so fast it makes their head swim. The late season crop will be for us. It'll be what we put up. We'll put a little bit of the early season up just to make sure we end up some. But the late season, basically, it's going to be one of them, don't call me, it's not for sale. Because we have to eat. Okay, so here's where we get into some fun stuff. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do a quick divide here, so I'm not going through and tripping over trying to explain all this to you, because we've got turnips and tomatoes and cucumbers. We got some new tomatoes this year that we're going to grow. Some of these are greenhouse varieties, and some of these are going to be field varieties, and some of these will be available for plant sales. So if you need tomato plants, we have an Etsy store that'll have our tomato plants on there, and they're going to be available in 3-packs. So it'll be 3 of pink brandywine, 3 Cherokee purples, 3 black creams, so forth. But so look at our Etsy store for that. Pepper plants are available in our Etsy store and on our website. Tomato plants, we don't sell enough of them to justify having them in both places, so we just put them on Etsy for now. May change at some point in the future, but right now it's just Etsy. It just makes our life easier. If you need pepper seeds, tomato seeds, some watermelon seeds, all of that stuff is available also on our Some of it's on our website, but all of it's on our Etsy store. And you'd think we like tomatoes around here. Like I said, we picked up some really cool new varieties this year, and then some of the ones that we've always been doing. All right, so let's start with probably our most popular turnip, ain't it?
I'd say so, yeah.
We grow currently, well, we've been growing 3 types of turnips. We actually got some specialties ones from Baker Creek for end of last season that we'll be using this season. So we're going to have a few more, but this is our most popular. And this one is an example of something that's not available organic. So we have to get an organic approval on this, which is what we have done. This is a Hawkeye. This is a hybrid turnip. They're very organized in size. They make them great to bunch and sell. They're wonderful in salads. They're wonderful roasted. Some people just eat them, just raw and bite into them. I used to be back in the day a little bit of ranch, a little bit of vegetable, eat. Not quite that anymore. I like to roast my turnips. Oh, I love them roasted. Roasted turnips is a good thing. Oh. All right, so anyway, this is a 1 ounce package. If you know anything about turnips, that's a lot of turnip seeds. But we'll grow a lot of these. This is something we'll be succession planting basically all year long, starting here in just a couple of weeks. We'll put some in the greenhouse. We'll seed them. And then the next week we'll seed again, seed again until we can't seed them no longer because of them bolting or whatever. But that's a constant one for us. So next on our list for seeds that we had to restock on is cucumbers. So we had to restock on Socrates, which is our most popular cucumber, and it's our favorite. Yep. This is the one that we use for pickles preferably. This is the one we use for fresh eating. It's a beta alpha type cucumber. Technically, it's considered a tender European Asian cucumber, I think is how they list that one. But it's for lack of better description, it's a beta alpha type, similar to that. Extremely small to no seeds. 6 to 7 inch, ain't that right? I think 6 to 7 inch. And we like to pick these on that small side. We like them in that smaller end. So if it's a 6 to 7, I have to look this back up to be sure. We're going to pick on 5 to 6. They're better. When they start getting to that maximum end, 7 to 8, they're good, but they're so watery, the flavor washes out a little bit. So, awesome cucumber.
And that is actually the one that if you followed us during our winter greenhouse special that I did for Organic Research Foundation, that's the one that we used in that, because that is the great thing about it.
Tolerates cold weather.
It tolerates cold weather, and it will produce as long as you keep it at 50 degrees or above, but it does not like hot, so you want to keep it below 90, probably below 85.
And we got 100 of those because we're going to grow a early crop. This will be the first cucumber I seed, and then we'll grow a crop that will start a month earlier than we started them this year, so that we can get them into production before the weather cools off. We was experimenting this year, and we know that we need about 30 to 45 days earlier, so we'll probably start these 45-ish days earlier. That way we get them in the ground a good heavy month before. And then Excelsior. Excelsior is an Asian...
That's
is that the pickling
cucumber?
Excelsior is the greenhouse pickling cucumber. Yeah, I was wrong.
I was thinking you
I always
want
to call... Yeah, I changed my mind. I was trying to save us money, and I was trying to talk myself out of planting them. But we really need pickling cucumbers for local sales. And we're going to grow some outside. But outside cucumbers are so dependent upon weather. You can have a bad rain and lose a crop of cucumbers in a snap of your finger. So we can control these. And we're going to do outside ones also. But we're going to control these so people locally that want a good pickling cucumber will have some. And we'll have these Excelsiors. And another one, we ordered a pack of 100. And this is another one that is not available organic.
And hopefully he has our other greenhouse cucumbers.
Oh, it is organic. Yeah, my bad.
Put away that we still had samples.
Our other greenhouse cucumber seeds are already over here ready. We'll do another video on that later. And I'm sorry, I said it wasn't organic. Both of these are certified organic. Both of those cucumbers. I don't know why I said there wasn't, but anyway. So next is peppers. We'll do a completely separate videos on peppers. This is just what we got in today. By no means all the new peppers for this year. This is just the 3 we needed from Johnny's for this year. So our Baston Poblanos.
Gotta have poblanos.
Yeah, and that's a certified organic. It is the only certified organic poblano that Johnny's sells. There's some other ones out there, but this is the only one Johnny's sells.
And I think it's actually the only certified organic hybrid for vigor.
Far as I know, yes. So it's a great. We've grown this now for 5 years, 6 years, something like that, maybe more. This is an amazing pepper. Grows well, produces good. I always want more production out of my poblanos than I get. Maybe I'm just not the best poblano grower, but they did well this year. We were very happy with what we did. We changed it up, and we're changing again next year on the poblanos. We're going to give them a little bit more room, and we're going to see how they do, and we're going to start these earlier. This will probably get started right after we do. I'm getting ready to start super hot seeds and so forth, and this will be probably right after them, so I can get a good sized plant going in the garden. These will probably get up potted a couple of times. We'll probably be putting it's a pain. We'll probably be putting a much larger plant in the ground with these this year, so that I can maybe get a bigger head start and a heavier production. And that's certified organic also on the Baston Poblanos, as we discussed. And this is probably our favorite pepper from Johnny's. This is the Highlander Anaheim. And this is certified organic also. The Highlander Anaheim, to me, is the perfect size for a Hatch chili. A Hatch type chili. Don't get offended. I know it's not grown in the Hatch Valley area, but it's a Hatch type chili. And the Highlander is an Anaheim type, so it's a mild Hatch type chili. And this is a hybrid F1. We don't grow too many peppers that are hybrids, but these 3 here are probably the only exceptions to that, ain't it?
And our Serrano.
Oh, right. But we had Serrano seeds left over. So we grow a open pollinated heirloom Serrano, and we grow a hybrid Serrano. And then in the Hatch chilies, we grow these and about 5 other to 6 other varieties of Hatch chilies that are open pollinated. These are just not. This is our staple. This is our heavy producer. This is the one you can count on. This is the one that always produces first and always is producing last. So it's a staple for us. And then this was a customer favorite last year, and we liked it too. So we're going to try some new stuff with this this year. And all that was 100 seeds. The Baston Poblanos are 250. So we got 250 on the Poblanos, 100 on the Highlander Anaheims.
And we've also grown this one for many, many years, but
not in a hybrid. We've only grown this twice in a hybrid. I grew one plant or 2 plants maybe 2 years ago, but last year was the first year we grew this of any quantity, and the customers fell in love with it. So this is the Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter is an ahi type pepper, if you're familiar with your ahis, which are generally a Peruvian style. Not all, but generally it's a Peruvian type pepper. So we got 100 seeds of this. This will be one of the ones we plant out extra of because the customers were in love with it. It's just an amazing mild hot pepper. Great for about whatever you want to. It's got a black peppery taste to it. Not heavy, but it's a black peppery, fruity flavor. And so it's just an amazing pepper. Almost everybody that I talked into buying them at market came back and bought them again the next week. And some of them week after week after week, and they were sad when the last ones were gone. So that's going to be a good one. Okay, guys, this video's getting a little bit long, but we're almost there. We're in the home stretch. Tomatoes. That was the whole reason for placing this order. It is time to seed greenhouse tomatoes.
It's supposed to be tonight, but it's not going to happen.
It ain't happening tonight, so it's going to be Monday. Or tomorrow after church. I'm not sure. So, some of these are, and we'll discuss them as we go through, are greenhouse and some are not. And then there's going to be some I'm not sure because they're new and I don't remember. But I don't think this was a greenhouse variety off the top of my head. And this is a new one. This is Harvest Moon. And this is a hybrid. It is certified organic. I wished I remembered. Maybe Tiffany can pull up a picture.
Might be able to.
I wished I remembered Harvest Moon off the top of my head. This is a 100 seed pack. And these are 75 days to your first fruit maturity. So... And
if y'all don't know, Johnny's just now put together a new app for Johnnyseeds, which makes it a little bit easier to pull up. So, you know, if you haven't downloaded their app, do it.
But this was one of the ones we were excited about. I just can't remember what it looks like. It has some disease resistance in it, if I remember, was one of the reasons we ordered this.
So, Harvest Moon.
Bicolor.
Bicolor tomato.
What's the disease resistance on that one?
So, it is late blight resistant.
Yeah, okay. That was the only disease resistant that was of any mention in it, was the late blight resistance. And around here, late blight is what takes out our tomatoes every year.
Early blight is not a greenhouse variety. So it is supposed to be planted outside, right, which is great, which is why we got it for...
Early blight is rough. But we can usually grow our way out of early blight. Late blight takes out our tomatoes. Pink ID. This is a greenhouse variety. And it's just what it sounds like. It's that classic pink colored tomato. I want to say it's on the smaller side, like 8 to 12 ounce maybe.
It is 7 to 10 ounces.
So yeah, it's on that small to, well, medium size is what I'll call it. Small when you start talking heirlooms. But that's a great one that we're going to be looking at doing.
And it has got a huge
You want to show them a picture?
Resistance.
Yeah, that one had a big disease package because it's a greenhouse variety. You want to show them the picture of it?
So.
Okay, and this is a staple for us. That's also why it's a pack of 100 instead of like this was a pack of 50 for the greenhouse. Hot Streak.
Well, yeah.
And that's our greenhouse variety. We technically bought for 2 seasons ago, but we didn't plant it. We got behind. It never got seeded.
And then last year, we had Hot Streak.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, I need Hot Streak.
Everybody fell in love. And it is a great tomato.
It is technically bicolor. It is definitely more red than it is
more red than anything.
Yeah.
But it does have a bicolor on the skin. That's where the Hot Streak name come from. Great greenhouse variety. Sold well for us. We'll come back to that. Alright. Another greenhouse variety. Rebelski. Rebelski, if I remember right, is a red tomato. It's not pink. And it's probably around 12 ounces, ain't it?
7 to 8 ounces.
I thought it was a little bigger than that. So I was off a little bit. We've grown Rebelski before. We actually grew it 2 years ago. We let the weeds take it over. We didn't harvest enough Rebelski to talk about. So Rebelski is one of the ones we have to have. We do some online sales, and people really want those tomatoes. So we got to have it. Another staple. Gin Fizz. That's a greenhouse variety. And Rebelski is not certified organic. And if I remember right, Hot Streak is not either. I'm sorry I didn't tell you all that. Hot Streak is not certified organic. And Pink ID is not certified organic. So none of those 3 greenhouse varieties, which is kind of common on the tomatoes. I'm hoping one day they fix it. We're organic approved on these, but they're not certified organic. So, Gin Fizz is, though.
Oh, yeah. It is technically bicolor, definitely more yellow than it is red. It's just got a little red streak in it.
Wonderful tasting tomato.
Yeah.
I'm a hillbilly potato leaf and big rainbow fan, big time. But I put this tomato, if you grow it right, up against any of those. And taste-wise, I don't think you'll be able to tell me the difference. I think, because we tried it, and there wasn't enough difference to tell. And once you lay them on the table, it's a guess if they're together. So, and that one's certified organic. Popular one for us. Downside to Gin Fizz is it fizzles out.
Yep.
It comes on hard and early, and then it's gone. Plan you something to succession plant behind it, because it is gone. Don't waste your time trying to grow it, because when it fizzles, It ain't going to produce enough tomatoes to waste your time after that. And it's a known problem with the tomato. It comes on hard and dies. Heavy producer, you'll pick them like crazy, and then all of a sudden you ain't got none. So back to why we're growing the Harvest Moon outside. And of course we'll grow our hillbilly potato leaf and our striped Germans and stuff also, because we need something that's going to still be a bicolor tomato after those are done for. Alright. So, let's get these first before I move into those. So another greenhouse variety, Marnero. Marnero is purple, right? Yep.
It is.
So that's a Cherokee purple
looks
type.
Looks like a Cherokee purple.
It is a dead ringer for a Cherokee purple. Yeah. Those green shoulders and everything.
And let me just tell you, last year and the year before, we could put them on the table and people would buy them as Cherokee purple and buy them next week because they were Cherokee purple, and
even though we told them
nobody could tell a difference.
We would tell them they wasn't. But we grow several purple tomatoes, and Black Cream is the exception. Black Cream don't really look like any of the rest of them. But Carbon, Cherokee Purple, the Marnero, and we grow another purple greenhouse variety. When you put them on the table, they look so close to each other, it's hard to tell them apart. It really is. Flavor difference is about 2%. You can tell, but you probably won't unless you're just a fanatic. So, Marnero. That's one of our greenhouse varieties. All right, we're working. Oh, no. Margold. So Margold's bicolor, correct?
Yes. That is the one that we grow in the greenhouse. That whereas Gin Fizz fizzes out, Margold does not.
But Margold does not produce as heavy early in the season.
Yeah, it's a sustained harvest.
Yep, just steady.
It's steady.
Steady. And Marnero, like I said, most of these greenhouse varieties are not available organic. We love Gin Fizz because it is, but I can't grow a whole greenhouse full of Gin Fizz. But the Marnero is not certified, and neither is the Margold. Next one is another purple variety. This is our Mar Noir. And I am sure I butcher that, but I don't speak the original language. I think these are French, if I'm not mistaken. French or Italian, but anyway.
And the thing about the Mar Noir is you can see on the picture where the other one had like the typical...
The dark green Cherokee purple shoulder.
This one...
Far less. Yes. Almost none under certain growing conditions. So, which is more similar to Carbon. Carbon has less of that green shoulder than Cherokee purple. A lot of people say, oh, that Cherokee purple's not ripe. Cherokee purple traditionally grows green shoulders. If you let it go until that shoulder turns purple, the tomatoes rot. You ain't going to eat it. So you got to pick it and just know it's going to have a green shoulder on top. So, and Mar Noir is not certified organic either. Maybe one day. Okay, I think we are going to move into cherry tomatoes. So this is a staple for us. By no means our only one that we grow in cherry tomatoes, but this is Edox. Edox is amazing. It stopped. Sorry about that, guys. My video camera on my phone is supposed to be set to not disturb me if I'm getting a phone call, but it disturbed me.
Good.
So we're back. All right, Edox was what Tiffany was getting ready to show you. And this is a staple for a cherry tomato. It is not an organic one, I'm sorry. But for a greenhouse tomato, cherry tomato, classic red, you can't beat it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's pretty great.
It produces well, tastes great. It's just good tomato.
Yep.
Now this one, don't see on here this is a greenhouse variety, but I know we grow it in a greenhouse. So it works for us, whether it is or not. Does Johnny say protected culture?
Yes.
So it is protected culture. It may not be greenhouse. It may be more high tunnel, but we grow it.
It is a greenhouse performer.
Okay. It's not on their package that way, but I know we grow it that way. One of our most popular cherry tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Is Sun Peach.
And I would be very mad if we did not grow it. So it a lot.
Her favorite, and it is amazing. I got a snack on them when I'm walking through the greenhouse. Make greenhouse work enjoyable. Getting cherry tomatoes on your way through, you know, it's just it's just worth the trip. So Sun Peach, not a organic one either, but it's a must for us. Golden Sweet. I can't remember if that's actually a greenhouse or not. We grow it in a greenhouse.
Yeah. It is, yes, Greenhouse Performer.
Okay, so that is a grape type tomato, for lack of calling it a cherry, because it's technically a grape. And it's very popular for our customers, and it actually is my second favorite that we grow in the greenhouse. I love Edox, but I'm not a red cherry tomato fanatic. I like all the other colors, and I love the Edox. I eat quite a few of them during the year, but the Golden Sweet, sometimes I get carried away.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Tiffany's not marking off what we got.
No, I missed a few.
We're going to have to go back
so,
through.
yeah.
Okay, now these are not greenhouse varieties. So some of these are new. Actually, all of these are probably new for us. Yes, they are. So let's start with Bronze Torch. So this is, if I remember right, a larger grape type tomato. And it's a new hybrid with some disease resistance.
So yes, it's about 1.5 ounces. It is a Saladette in the Juliet class.
Right.
So.
And that's got some disease resistance, don't it? If I remember right.
Performs well under heavy disease pressure. Doesn't tell me which ones, but you know.
Nope, it doesn't say.
No.
But anyway, that's a new one for us for next year. We're excited. That'll be outside in the field. Magic Bullet. Now, this one is certified organic. This is an open pollinated, but it's a new one for us. We've never grown Magic Bullet. So it is not a hybrid, and it is organic.
So the Magic Bullet is a very productive, multicolored snacking tomato. If you've ever had Brad's Atomic Grape, this is what it reminds me of.
Reminds you. Definitely don't look like it, but it reminds you of it.
So we still usually grow Brad's Atomic Grape. And we probably will grow Brad's Atomic Grape this year.
Yeah.
But, you know. Then
that's if nothing else, it's for us. We and Alyssa, that was just on the video, that's one of her favorite, if not her favorite. It used to always be her favorite, but...
She actually took, when she was a camp counselor in Greenville, South Carolina, she took one with her, and it was Bradley.
She grew a plant and some peppers while she was there so she could have fresh produce, because you miss that stuff when you're on camp food. So, next one is Estiva. Or Estiva. This is a hybrid. Should have a disease package, I bet, on it. And this is an outside indeterminate tomato also.
And it has a very impressive heat tolerance, which it's actually a greenhouse performer.
Oh, well, maybe I've got that in the greenhouse. It may be in the greenhouse. It just don't say on here greenhouse performer.
So it's not a big tomato, but it's a really good, nice slicing tomato just for a sandwich.
What size is that?
It is 7 to 9 ounces.
So yeah, that's what people want.
Yep.
Except for the people like me that want the big ones. That's what most people want. And that's why Hot Streak does well. It's not a huge tomato, and people just buy bags full of them. We got customers buy 5 pounds a week.
So we chose this one because it has got, like, when everything else stops producing because of the heat, this one keeps producing. So we're going to see how true that is, because that is our big issue, is they stop producing. So we'll see.
Marmalade Skies, and that was not organic either. Now, Marmalade Skies is organic. One of the reasons we're trying it this year is because it's organic.
So that one has late blight resistance, and it is a beautiful orange tomato.
It's not a greenhouse variety, is it?
It is not. No.
I didn't think it was. So this will be a great one to try outside. We love Amana orange, but late blight takes it out usually at the end of the year, so you get a good production, and then it's done most years. So we're going to try Marmalade Skies with that disease resistance and see how it compares. Not that we're ditching Amana orange. We'll still grow it. Another organic one. That was organic. This one is too. Strawberry Fields. And this is a hybrid also. Certified organic hybrid. So we should have a good disease package on that. Should be why we picked that one also.
So it is an improved late blight resistant pink slicer. So 7 to 10 ounces. Really pretty.
Beautiful
So,
classic red.
yeah.
Well, pink technically.
Yeah.
I classify pink and red as the same because most of the tomatoes they classify as pink look red. There's a few that's pink, but
So this one is considered pink.
yeah, it looks red to me if I just looked at it. All right, last one. This one was one I was intrigued with. Captain Lucky. Now, it's not certified organic, but it is open pollinated. So if we save seeds, next year we'll have certified organic from this.
So it is a heirloom-like green bicolor. It's got incredible flavor.
More modern heirloom type is what
Right.
it is.
Now, that's what it looks like. We also grow pink tie-dye, or pink Berkeley tie-dye, and green Berkeley tie-dye. And so it's really similar from Wild Boar Farms. But we're going to see what this one's like.
This one's not striped on the outside like the other ones
Right,
are.
so
It's a bicolor, and it's primarily purple on the outside, and it's going to turn to more of a green on the inside. This was bred in North Carolina.
North Carolina obviously is our neighbor.
Yep. One thing I may not like about it, but we'll find out, is it's a potato leaf variety. But we're going to give it a shot and see what it is. So, guys, there it is. That's our seed unboxing order for today. There'll be more in the future if you want to hear about some of these varieties and hear us discuss them. And then we'll be starting on peppers here soon. So we'll have some pepper videos and some cucumber videos on our cucumber varieties going in the greenhouse. And we'll do a full video on the tomato varieties that are going in the tomato greenhouse for our hybrids. There'll be a separate video for the heirlooms that will go in our Farmer's Friend tunnel. We still got to get set back up. All right, guys, that is it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share this video with friends. Really helps us out if you comment below in the comments and give us a thumbs up. It helps YouTube put us in front of people's faces. Thank you all. Have a good one. Let's go grow.